wouldn't you take the vax? You had a direct order to take it. You were told to take it.
Yeah, I'm not real good with direct orders, but on a whole nother note,
but it was a command.
I didn't.
I mean, I'm sorry, they told you. I mean, they couldn't have been clearer about it.
Yeah, it was pretty clear. Did you take it?
Of course not.
Yeah, no. It wasn't ready. You know, it was 6 month, kind of rush job. And I didn't feel safe.
But they told you you were safe.
I know what they said. I know what they said. And I heard them. I heard them loud and clear. But it's not their decision. There's no repercussions if they're wrong. But I get all the repercussions if they're wrong.
Was it a tough call for you?
No, it wasn't a tough call. I wanted to be an example for my kids. Really make sure they didn't take it either. Show them that I wanted to stand on my convictions and that I was willing, to lose $9 million and more, because we've probably lost more, since then.
The idea is that people who stand on their convictions are heroes. They're brave. They have principles. They're the people we look to for inspiration. But in this case, with this decision and these principles, you were not hailed as a hero.
No.
You were attacked.
So why won't you get the vaccine, man?
Hey, look, man, I'd just rather be myself than take that vaccine like you other 3 billion bozos.
I never told anyone not to get vaccinated publicly. That was never my message to the world. I didn't even want people to know whether I got vaccinated or not. I was pretty upset that even came out, because I was just gonna quietly, just not take it and deal with the consequences as they came.
Do you know anyone who was injured by the vaccine?
I do. And they suffer every day, and it's hard to watch. Suffering in silence is not the answer all the time. Sometimes you gotta let people know what's going on so you can actually move the needle. Choose to be vocal. If it's true, why can't I say it?
Well, you can't say it because it is true.
There it is. Now that's the problem with the world today.
There's no penalty for lying. No one's ever punished for lying. It's only telling the truth that gets you in trouble.
Ain't that something?
That's true.
Yeah, that is so true.
Our public message to the world was, you better not take it. Make no mistake about that. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahshai Bashim Makakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Moonstone who do rule well. Shalom to you of us who are hopeful. Shalom to the elect. Ice Cube has been in the news a lot lately, mostly sharing his, we'll call it, displeasure with the industry. For those of you not up to speed, he's pretty much implied that he's ready to go to war with the powers that shouldn't be, i.e. the NBA and the media, sports media, because of their refusal to support and cover his 3-on-3 basketball endeavor called the Big Three. And his other axe to grind is with Warner Brothers, who won't hand over distribution rights to his Friday movie franchise. But see, that's what happens when you dance with the devil. He's guaranteed to step on your toes. The habitual line crosser and overstepper is him. He has never made an agreement that he holds no qualms about breaking. Don't believe me, ask our brother Gad, the so-called Native American Indian, and the recorded 1,001 incidents in dealing with this guy named Esau between the late 17 to late 1800s. The U.S. government signed about 400 treaties, 368 to be exact, with the Southern Kingdom of Israel, the so-called First Nations and Native American tribes. And surprise, surprise, they broke every one. Did you forget Wounded Knee and the death marches called the Trail of Tears? I just don't get it. Psalm 55:20 says this: He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. The he here being Esau, Edom, starting from the top, the global elitist and top banking families of the earth, the so-called white establishment, so you can understand, all the way down to the bottom of the pile, Joe Sixpack and Tommy 24. One recent example in history where America waged war without provocation is his infamous search for WMDs, those weapons of mass destruction, and the war on Iraq. And really Afghanistan, because you and I know bin Laden was a CIA operative and had none to do with flying planes into the World Trade Center. He was just the cover story. Another not so recent is Operation Just Cause in Panama, which gave Esau the opportunity to try out his experimental lasers on our brother Zebulon, the so-called ethnic Panamanians in that region. He quote-unquote renegotiated his treaties with the southern kingdom there too. Esau is notorious for disturbing the peace by drawing first blood. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. What did you expect, Senior Ice Cube? Didn't you write no Vaseline, death certificate, and Predator? You know exactly what kind of devil you're dealing with. You must have forgot, but Esau sure hasn't. Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. As soon as you think you've come to some common understanding with or settled any disagreement with Esau amicably, and you're standing on mutual ground, for those of you outside of the truth, of course, his words were softer than oil. As soon as you think this nigga gonna let you slide, here comes Esau, waking up to choose violence. Psalms 58:2 says, yea, in heart, meaning in his mind, ye speaking to Esau, work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth, meaning his every endeavor is met with violence. This is how he forges his path, be it overt or be it subtle. This is how he makes his way on the earth and in the world. Truth be told, the same way NWA got big. They took the overt approach. And to keep it 100, as much as songs like F the Police helped to shine a light on police brutality and how the boys in blue were killing so-called people of color with impunity, I'm old enough to remember how the gatekeepers and tastemakers of the industry used, not Ice Cube specifically, but NWA, how they used NWA in a so-called West Coast gangster rap to silence groups that were about so-called black consciousness. But that movement wasn't going to last anyways, because even though the Lord is dealing with Yasharallah, he ain't dealing with hip-hop. Amos 5:23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. And that's why we learn the words of the Heavenly Father written in these scriptures and go out there on the highways and the byways to teach it. The word psalm means song, and to give praise. Ergo, there's no need to mix the doctrine with secular music. The truth is already a song that it needs no help. What hip-hop has become is far from uplifting. It's no secret the hip-hop industry was infiltrated by the CIA a long time ago to promote death and destruction over low vibrational music, which induces drug use. That's why you have these youngsters leaning and out like a light. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Truth be told, I have mixed feelings about Ice Cube's, we'll call it, press run. One thing I do know about the corporate environment and its structure, it doesn't matter if you're the head janitor or the chief executive officer in the building, there is no changing it from within. That's just wishful thinking. Ergo, you can only do on, and what I mean by that is you can only do on the inside what the system, because the arrangement is a collective. Internally, you can only do what the outfit allows you to do. Ask Donald Trump, he'll tell you how much pushback he got from his own cabinet, who ultimately proved to be more faithful to his predecessors and his party. Really, he should have cleaned house, but nevertheless. Sirach 6:13 says this, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed, meaning pay attention to and be careful of thy friends. How much money has Ice Cube made for Esau in Hollywood? They're proverbial bed buddies and connected at the hip at this point. As much as Ice Cube has shown himself to buck up and be against the system, he's helped to support that same system for years. That's the truth. If being in the streets don't love you, you can't be surprised when being in the industry don't love you neither. Okay? Psalm 94 and 20. Let's get that. And it says this: Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? Speaking to the many injustices experienced by Jake, courtesy at the hands of Esau Edom. You can't expect a platform built on robbery, deceit, and a blatant undermining of integrity to treat you fairly. That's not going to work, especially if you're a child of Israel. Matter of fact, Proverbs 22 and 7 says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. So Esau being the lender, he is not going to look at or treat Ice Cube, the borrower, as an equal partner. I guarantee you his stance is, fall in line, darky. Your work ain't done here. You eat when I say you can eat. And yes, I know that voting and the idea of opposing political parties are all an illusion to divide and appease the sheeple, which is probably why I see this situation the way I do. Kind of looks like the same thing. The jury's still out on that. But in any event, the point I'm making is you're not going to get all this exposure on Massa's plantation unless the overseer okays it, especially when you're a celebrity with a following, expressing a grievance that is against the workings of the machine. Okay? You're only going to get so far before they outfox you. And pardon the pun there. Remember, sports media, i.e. mainstream media, the NBA, the music industry, and Hollywood are all one entity. They're all one unit. They all work in conjunction together. Never mind the fact that the media is not only bought and paid for by the elite, it's scripted. So Esau wouldn't be affording Ice Cube the privilege to express himself. You can pardon that pun too, if he himself didn't have something to gain. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this out. Let's go to Psalm 58 and 3. It says this: the wicked, i.e. Esau Edom, pursuant to Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Those who run the world and are in the power seat. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Now, babies don't speak. Another jewel dropped on me by the brother Kazak, who I call Hercules. Babies don't speak when they are born, proving Esau is the reincarnation of Cain, the first liar and killer on earth. This means from the inception of this nation of people, their nature has been one of deception. Their genetic makeup, if you will, inclines them to being dishonest. Strange, meaning they are strangers to this truth. Even though there is no such thing as fair, what's equal and what's right will never be in the vocabulary of the white establishment. You need to get that straight. As an Israelite, you should understand also that Esau has never been equal to us anyways. This earth was created in our favor, and the intention was for us to rule over him and the other nations. Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, tells us that plainly. Nevertheless, to address the opening clip, the topic being the left jab followed by the right hook. Remember the algorithm, ladies and gentlemen. What I found interesting is the whole connection between the Big Three and the NBA not giving Ice Cube its support. Really, their opposing stances on taking the secret sauce. And then recently, speaking of being out Jamie Foxxed, LeBron James' son, 18 years old, in the best shape of his life, or so you would think, Bronny James collapsing from a cardiac arrest. Now, we here at GMS don't believe in coincidences. We don't believe in coinkydinks, okay? Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Ergo, we don't believe in coincidences. Coincidence, that is an explanation used by fools and liars, I believe is the saying. But The timing of this interview here is impeccable. You and I know that that young man almost lost his life because he took the jump shot. Here you have Ice Cube shining a light on just how wrong the collective was, and I'm speaking about the NBA was in advocating the jab. And boy, did they ever try to enforce it. Ask Kyrie. Scriptures say a house divided must fall. You and I know the writing is on the wall. Hollywood is on its way out. Never mind Babylon. Writers and actors going on strike, and even the lesser luminaries, i.e. the rich and famous, who they use to support narratives like drinking the magic milk, are starting to buck up and expose this mad scientist named Esau. In any event, Yahweh's judgment is set. In the second Ezra 9 and 10 says this: "For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me," speaking to you, you rappers and you celebrities, "and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, Salakia, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain." You don't get no simpler than that. All this truth talk, truth this and truth that. Let's go to 2 Corinthians to close out. 2 Corinthians 13 and 8 says this: "For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." I don't know what Ice Cube or the industry is hoping to accomplish here at this point in the game. Do we really need anybody to tell us how wrong the jump shot is? A man of the Lord is not going to shy away from the public in sounding the alarm for all to hear, or create a spectacle even for all to see, if it means telling the truth in order to preserve his people. Job 15 and 8 tells you that plain. And Jeremiah 9 and 4 on down tells you not every brother is a brother. What I do know is the agenda as of late would be a distraction so he can hide what's coming, or do some more wickedness while the world is sleeping. In any event, the truth stands alone. There is no power in exercising anything but the truth. The truth is undefeated, no matter what side Ice Cube or Tucker Carlson is really on. Who the truth is for, we know it when we hear it. Anything other than that will be done away with. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai Ba'Shem Akakwadash to the power and spirit. I hope you are edified. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach us 100% truth and rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Remember, no, if you would ever remember, now is the time. No jab, and damn sure don't take no C to the H to the I to the P. Shalom Yasharallah. Shalom to the elect.